I think generally it's an excellent cycle, but I feel this cycle is a little bit more complex. Like we started from the early December dropping, and then December 2020th was a low, and then came all the way back up, and then dropped again. So this cycle took over 2 months, 2 months and a half. So finally, we are almost there, almost. So if we did the call here, right? The March SPX call, it's expensive, but you can see the benefit when you have a longer DTE calls. Expensive, but you don't have to manage all the time. But the downside is when you have this like a back and forth um, on daily, it makes you nervous, right? Like it's hard to hold through this many rounds of dropping. Like this lot of the jigsaws, right? So anyways, you could have done each time two calls. So this time I did FNGU, TQQQ mainly every time we do this. So now we have only a little bit to go. There's really no real resistance here. It's all wiki, just a little bit supply. And 30 minutes, we have a little bit pullback. Pullback, it would be somewhere 6,100, like was major resistance, like trendline resistance, horizontal resistance for the many, many weeks, right? The whole time. Now, finally, we are above that. So here is a major support. Now look at 30 minutes. Um, it really talk about trend. It's so beautiful stairs, right? So yesterday, after going back to reread the CPI, and I realized how really misinterpret. That's why market rallied hard after the initial drop. So today, PPI, I was very bullish going into it. That's why I said you could either buy. I think at the time it was somewhere near here. You can either buy somewhere here or you can. So I just bought. I just put it add money, not add money, add price bought one long on NQ. So I didn't think the PPI is a big deal. And reading through the report, it was not a big deal. So anyway, so now 30 minutes when we have a pullback is a band, as I said, wave four is always a band. It's not like one price. But you can see, look at how solid the support is. So that's the 61.1 in very bullish momentum. So your first thing you want to see, okay, so when I'm at that start shorting, right now it's just as soon as price approaching 61.27, there's really nothing here, right? It's just scalp. So you could buy put, but on 15 minutes, maybe even earlier, it's similar. Like it's 61.29. So now it's very hard to short. There's not much resistance. That better way to go is, I mean, in even more bullish momentum could be just drop to 61.20 and then going back up. So we really have to see at the time. We always use 15 minutes reversal anyway. So if price come back to this general area, and this is trendline resistance. So 61.11, it could be making sense. So I would say somewhere in this wouldn't be able to drop the two low levels. The momentum is so strong. I've been saying the reciprocal tariff is not really a bad thing, and it's not inflationary. A lot of the economic analysts is full of, you know what? I don't have as in-depth knowledge, but think about it, it's a return in kind, right? So meaning some other country has heavy tax on like on the product we buy. For example, car from like BMW, a European, if the car from there, then you don't. I used to travel to Europe quite a lot. Um, 2 out of 3 companies I worked for in US are European companies. And the first company has locations in France, in UK, in Germany, Japan. So we got to travel quite a bit, but you don't see a lot of American cars in Europe. So that meaning they have a heavy tariff on our cars, but we don't do the same. So now Trump said, hey, let's have an even playground, have play the same rule. So either they have to drop the tariff on us so we can sell cars to US, or we have to add tariff to their cars. I mean, just an example. So Europe Union, EU Union, I think is one of the target Trump is talking about today. So anyway, there are really all the bearishness it's behind because initially I think a lot of people like fearmonger say, oh my God, the market crash is coming, bear market is starting. Where there's like no sign of bear market. So anyway, this is the plan. And for NQ on daily looks slightly different. Um, so that's why I suspect that NQ might not take this 21,450 out. So if you look at the NQ daily, we are at volume gap here, right? So 21,240, 22, sorry, 22,245 is a major resistance here. And if we could get about here, so we're talking about 22,425. And if you look at ground information on 60 minutes, that's exactly where it points to. So I'm thinking this is going to be the final target. I think this color should be white. Okay, so we have 3 targets on the upside, and so I'm leaning it's going to hit this target. And then we are really going to load puts in very serious manner. So I'm thinking this move, the stock buyback every day, about $6 billion stock buyback. That's how much cash is injecting into the market. I think that window is going to close the end of next week, I think. Then that's why the second half of February turn a little bit leaning bearish. But we are going to for hedging is fine. Slightly earlier, slightly later. Okay, you may see a little bit red. That's fine because we are hedging, right? Why are we hedging? Because we still have a lot of long position shares. And at the top, where market could turn at any minute, especially when Trump is the president. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I support everything he does, Elon Musk, and I think it's really needed to cut the government spending. But doesn't mean the volatility is not there. So that's why we started putting on the puts. So I have only 30% position for the puts. And so when NQ really reaches this level, I'm probably going to load, I would say a lot. 200, 300,000 worth of QQQ puts for April. Probably, I'm a little bit chicken. I don't like the people like do next week puts. Always a little bit conscious about that. So for me, probably June and then September. June will be enough, I think. But we'll see anyways, because I believe this time we have larger pullback. So if you look at the Q, the wave structure is called 1, 2, right? 1, 2. Not ES. ES was 1, 5, right? And you look at weekly, with meaning Qs will drop to below 20,000. That's more than 10% drop. And if really here losing it, so we could easily go to see 18,500-ish potentially. So that's why I have a longer DTE puts to make sure that we cover the whole thing. But you don't really have to do. So for ES, you see weekly 5 already done, right? Daily, we have a little bit more room to go. And then we have monthly pullback. But the monthly pullback still way higher than the where the August drop last year. Last August was 5,000, right? So say 54, 30, but the major support really is near 4,800 is. So 4,800, that's like what, 1,500 point drop. That's quite a bit for ES. That's why also we need a little bit higher hedging, but it's up to you. If you take profit on all your shares and your calls next week flat, then you have nothing to hedge for, then you don't have a hedge. But if you want to make money, how much? How many percent is that? They're doing the 25% drop, then maybe we can just drop somewhere here, could be. It's hard to really say at this point because we're looking at a monthly, right? Monthly here, it look like a small, but think about monthly candle. This is trillions of dollars per candle on the monthly we're talking about. So you see here is just strong support, but let's look at weekly. Weekly here 5,400. That's very good support, right? So that's within the monthly wave 4 band. So the wave 4 band start from here. And so let's look at daily. We have a line so to see. So below here, look at the support is very strong, 5,300. And weekly, so here is pretty strong too. Worst case scenario, like would be here. That's the worst case scenario, I say. I don't think it may not drop to all that level. Like so starting this band to $600 band for now. That's all I can see. So we have to like really nail down when it's getting closer to the level, but at least we can prepare what's coming. Um, so that's the major market, and really there's really not much more else I would be interested in doing. So Bitcoin is daily wave 3. It's been accumulating a lot. I see a lot of buying orders coming in. So this is the final target here. So if you have, I don't know, I'm not too crazy about MicroStrategy these days. I still like coin better, safer. But that's just me. You look at Bitcoin going up and coin going up big, but MicroStrategy actually been down days. So for me, my first choices is still like BITX or coin related. So back in my mind. And so this is a one, two, three, gonna somewhere here, and then four, five. So that's the final target Bitcoin there. And if you have a coin or CONL, you just gradually take profit. And so Ethereum also dropped quite a bit. And this is the place actually it's good to accumulate. But for all the coins, I don't really know all the coins. There are so many. I don't even try to remember. So the only thing I care about is Bitcoin. That's all I'm looking at. So treasury yield, in like, let's look at daily. Treasury yield, I think the high is in. This is going to be turning back, CMACD below zero, and it's going to come back down. I think the high is in, and then we're going to go. So I shared a interview. Steve Steve Forbes, that famous Forbes guy. And my daughter's boyfriend name is Forbes too. So I said, "Are you from that family?" Anyway, so we're gonna go back down to Trump really want lower interest, but Jay Paul clearly does not want to give a lower interest. So let's see who's gonna win. And I agree with Steve Forbes. He said really J. Paul focused on the wrong thing. He said that really it should be focusing on stabilized dollar instead of focusing on the inflation. So anyway, so this is gold. Gold, I think the high Uh, this is wave three. I'm gonna retreat some here and then go back up. So I'm shorting gold right now at this moment. Okay, so that's all I have. I'm not gonna go through individual tickers. One day I gave my famous handwriting on January 27th, and I said KRE, what KRE, not KR, KRE. PRE, XLP, XLY is all daily waves five up. And so XLP, I gave two tickers, been going up a lot. XLY, REIS, right? REIS has been going up a lot too. SMH been going up. K, BKNG been going up 10%. Mali, like from 17 to here, that's a big jump too. AGO is also one of the tickers in my beautiful handwriting. But it's not that beautiful, I'm joking. Um, Also up a lot. And even McDonald's. McDonald's, your call, you really should take profit on the call now. And leave the share later on. APP. This one I give here, it went to 500. Okay, I take profit a little bit too early. UPST, right? UPST, I called 80 some target in November, and that's another almost 100% gain. Affirm, I mean, so many. I don't, it's hard to count all. Skims, went long at 24, and then 60, 24, 60, guys. So Riot, I did share, I didn't do call. But Riot, you could actually Riot, is really ranging. So if Bitcoin going up, this is gonna go too. So for me, you buy long here and then take profit there. I just did shares, I didn't do call. Labu, I said it's just accumulating. The more I look at the inflation data, the more I think Labu you can really just keep it. This just bottom, right? This is the bottom. Look, very bottom. If this thing start going, regardless whether J. Paul is staying or not, and I'm 100% sure the interest rate will come back down. Either J. Paul has to comply. Trump has all the right to, even though J. Paul said, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to stay until my full term is over. Trump can bypass him by Treasury, like Bassett guy. I spent a lot of time learning this, listen to the real expert talking about this. So he could make decision bypass J. Paul. And this is the question I have been asking my husband who was born here. And I said, why are we artificially having a um, federal whatever reserve to manipulate the market when the market is too hot and jack up the rate to cool it down. And then it's just like a pendulum, left and right. Why don't we have a system to keep the economy stable, right? I mean, if your boss gave you a salary raise and they said, no, 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 don't do that. I have too much money. No one says that. I mean, if our economy is really hot, and that's a good thing. So anyway, so I really think the whole system need to be rethought about it. It's so old, right? They need to have someone young, innovative, like Elon or somebody genius Elon hired um, to design something new. So I think TM really hit the target. I don't know where it's gonna go. Um, I'm not in there, and do I want to touch the sticker now? Not really. I if anything, I probably want to do puts because if you look at brown information, it reached the brown information, right? This target, brown information target, you don't really have the draw. So if anything, I would do, I don't know, September puts, and this thing will come back down to $20. Look at all the other ticker, QMCO, all this speculative things, right? Um, so and Netflix, I stopped looking at it too. It hit my target 10 17 something, and then I just have not looked at all. So I think I answered all the questions. What do you want me to look? TM Netflix. Or, I mean, what's your information is very vague. What DTE, what strike, and you didn't mention anything. So I hard to answer your question without knowing more details. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. And I repeat, this is not the time you go large 1040. 1040, I think you'll be fine. Tomorrow is Friday, so I think there could be a little bit profit taking. You never know what Trump is gonna say again, and then market gonna, yeah, you know? So anyways, yep. Okay, dismissed. Meeting is over. Bye.